to episode 30 of the Uncircumcised Podcast.
The big 3-0, baby.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Well, tonight we got Siva, Ben, and my sister is here today, Vanessa.
Hi.
Why did you both look at me? I don't have anything to say.
You had a goofy face on you.
I have a goofy face on me all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, you can't hide that.
Yeah.
No Jay tonight. He was busy, so. God damn it. I swear, you...
I didn't do anything. That was just really clunky.
Oh, well, yeah, because you always just sit there freaking like a fish in a fishbowl.
Yeah.
That's the best comparison. Oh, God.
You sit there like a
Fish in a fishbowl.
All right.
Alrighty,
All
then.
right. Far out. So how's everybody's Mother's Day been? Has anybody talked to their mothers and had any
Yeah.
Yeah,
good stuff?
I had my mom over here. We had some coffee and cake.
Okay. Cool.
Man, you did a lot better than me. I called her. Just said, hey, happy Mother's Day. She said, thank you.
She didn't say fuck you?
No, my mother's not like that.
Okay. She just thought it.
I don't know where I picked it up from, but it wasn't from her.
I had a great Mother's Day with my mom. Moving out for Mexican food.
What place?
The Mexican restaurant by where she lives.
Oh, okay. So nothing else here, but...
Yeah, she lives far away, man.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a good time. Everybody laughed.
Good.
Lots of laughing.
All right. Well, so you all been up to anything else? Like anything fun?
I went and saw the Guardians of the Galaxy in the theater again with my brother this time.
Was it better this time?
Yes, I liked it a lot more this time. I liked it a lot the first time, but I liked it even more the second time.
I heard good things about the movie, so I'm definitely interested in watching it, but I'll probably wait until it's on Disney Plus. That's probably when I'm going to watch it.
I saw it in like the Malco Extreme Theater. I guess that's their version of the IMAX.
The IMAX, yeah. What I was not impressed by it, honestly.
I love it. It's a fine screen. I saw Indiana Jones there. I was alone during COVID, dressed like Ernest P. Worrell, watching Indiana Jones and the Crusaders of the Lost Ark, taking pictures of myself in there and pictures of me at the big giant screen. But my brother wanted to sit way in the back to watch this movie, so it kind of just felt like I was watching it like at home, just on a big wall-sized TV.
Yeah,
Damn fine screen you got there, right?
I mean, bigger than my house, but I like to sit in the middle of the theater because you get better sound, everything. But
exactly.
We all had a good time. Everybody liked it a lot.
I hate sitting all the way in the front.
Especially at a theater that size,
Yeah.
And the back's good too. I feel like a kid. I feel like a teenager sneaking into the movies.
What I didn't like about the screen there is that it doesn't have the reclining seats. All the other ones have the reclining seats. Yeah. That one does not.
Yeah, that always surprises me. I forget every time.
You pay more for that one because of the screen, but you get worse seating actually than the other ones.
And the seats are still really comfortable.
Yeah, but not as comfortable as the other ones. Have you been over there?
I think they're more comfortable than the other ones.
I've not been in the extreme.
You just can't lay down.
But I've been to that theater, yes. I do like the reclining seat.
Yeah, but that version does not have the reclining seat.
Does it not?
Makes no sense to me at all. I guess they wanted to have more seats and that saved them on, money, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Have you been to that one over there, Vanessa?
I don't think so. I don't think I have.
I'm guessing you. So you. Okay, we're going to be talking about Evil Dead Rise.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ!
You went to see that over in the movie theater, or
yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
So did we.
The movie, I mean.
Yeah.
What? I watched it digitally.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Had a good experience with it.
Far out, man.
All right, so we're going to be talking about that one. Are we going to be talking about anything else? Are we going to talk about the movie Paint, or are we going to...
We'll see where we go.
All right, good. Let's see. All right, let's...
Damn, it seems like we could have come up with what we were going to talk about
because
before these microphones were on, right?
Well, I wasn't sure. I mean, he didn't watch the full movie, so, just making sure. But, all right, let's start out with Evil Dead Rise. I know, Sigurd, you went to see it. Do you remember much of it now?
Yeah, I remember plenty.
All right.
Here, there's me watching
God damn it.
watching that movie alone in the theater. There's the movie
Did
with
anybody,
the beer. I had a beer.
see, here's the thing. They could have came after you and be like, hey, you're trying to bootleg this movie.
Making earnest faces. No, man, I was alone, dude. Nobody gave a shit. Nobody cared.
Yeah. You should have recorded the movie and been like...
He did. He literally did.
Just look how big that theater is. It's ridiculous. I just, 2 seconds. Yeah. Big old wall-sized TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what size that screen actually is.
Oh, man, it's, way bigger than, my house. Or 4 of my houses,
that
probably.
thing is huge, yeah.
It's 8 of my houses, 12. It's hard to gauge house size. Americans measure stuff funny. It's maybe...
Like feet?
Maybe...
Jeez.
Maybe 500 bushels.
Bushels.
Yeah. I'd wager that. Maybe a couple thousand barrels.
What size of barrel?
Oh, God.
Standard
Standard
American,
like
standard
Donkey Kong
American
barrel
size
or like
standard American size barrel, man. You just got to get used to the units, man. Look it up. I'm not explaining it to you. If you were from here, you'd get it, man.
That's what it is. All right, well,
but that's not the screen I watched Evil Dead on. It was normal size. It was normal screen.
Like how big?
Oh, my God.
A fucking movie theater size. Normal movie theater size.
What do you think of the movie, Ben?
Well, now the seating arrangement changed and you started with me again. Why does that happen? Why is it always me? Well, look, I thought there was a lot of puke in it, and that was fine.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of that.
And it was white.
Well, the first set was white, and then there was blood in the second one. And, I liked it. I just wish it wasn't... it's not Evil Dead to me.
Okay. I'm going to chime in on that because I really liked the movie, but I agree, it wasn't Evil Dead. Especially right after that, I rewatched the Evil Dead remake.
Yeah.
And that one was definitely more Evil Dead than this one was. The book was different.
Yeah.
It had fucking teeth on it.
Yeah, it did.
I thought the book was neat.
Just didn't have a face on it either.
Yeah, it didn't. Well, but the remake did not have a face on it either.
Yeah, but
And they started that weird lore with the 3 books.
Yeah, it was
3 records.
No, the 3 books.
The 3
They said
books.
there's 3
Oh, well, no, yeah, that's right. I'm
Necronomicons.
thinking the 3 records or 7 or however many there were.
But then they're like, okay, in
Army.
Army of Darkness there were 3, but
Yeah.
there was only 1 that mattered in Army of Darkness. The other 2 were just decoys.
Yeah.
So
Not only that, but what threw me off on the movie was that they essentially found the old vault, bank vault, and then randomly,
I thought that was fine.
it's fine, but randomly there's all the shit in there for from the damn priests that we hid this in a bank vault.
Yeah, it had long since abandoned and forgotten underneath a city building. I mean, that's plausible, man.
That Jesus jump scare got me though. That was the only one. Was Jesus coming fucking like that? Yeah, scared the shit out of me.
What did you think of it, Vanessa?
I watched it. I didn't think it was that scary.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either or none of the first ones.
Oh, really?
You haven't seen
so
none
this is
at all?
the only Evil Dead movie you've ever seen?
Yeah, and I didn't think it was scary. It was good though.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like the scariest parts were in the trailer.
Yeah. Was it gory? Did you think any of it make you cringe or wince? Were you like, oh, that's a little much?
One time, probably. Yeah.
What part was that?
I don't even remember. Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. I don't know.
Actually, the stabbing in the bicep was kind of to me. When
Yeah.
the sister kind of had the brother pinned and she stabbed him
Oh,
in the
yeah, that was
bicep
pretty
to the
gnarly.
counter, I was like, oh, fuck that. Also, I have a horrible problem with people getting stabbed in the hands.
Yeah.
And that chick getting the glass through the palm of her hand, it bothered me.
Well, I mean, you gotta mangle the hand.
No, I get it.
It's
but,
Evil Dead.
But it just, that bothers me.
It was
In
a
any
weird way to
horror movie.
shoehorn it in there.
What did bother me about that is because, and even in this one, if I remember right, anybody that gets killed or like wounded by somebody that's basically
Deadite?
yeah, would turn.
No, not exactly.
Who wouldn't?
The chick that got the tattoo gun to her cheek, the mom like stuck her tongue out and bent down and like licked it, and I think that's what transferred it to her. You know,
the Deadites were the ones that picked and wherever they go, man, because they're demons.
I guess I am.
and yeah, they just didn't.
They
want
can
the
find a
mom.
random dead body and possess it, in the old movies and stuff.
The brother
I
got
think.
the puke
But
like in the face and
literally in any other movies, anybody that got attacked and like wounded or killed would turn, and in that one, she got it through the hand and she did not turn at all.
but
so.
not really. In Army of Darkness, it didn't work that way.
Did it not?
No, the demon just possessed whoever he wanted or whatever it wanted to.
Okay, I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a conscience.
Especially in like the last scene where he's like telling the story to that one girl at S-Mart, and then that just random
Yeah. Man.
Deadite is there. Yeah.
Well, so I actually watched the movie with my daughter, and it was funny because as we start the movie, she's like, "Horror movies always start so boring." And
No, it's pretty quick.
yeah, that one.
Start? I wouldn't say they start boring. Usually they start really hype and then they're boring.
So my daughter, that was her first phrase. As soon as they turned the movie on, it's a cabin there, and she's like, "Our horror movies always start so boring." And then it quickly turned right into all that. And she's like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Oh, the chick pulling her scalp, that other one's scalp off.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I liked the opening quite a bit.
Yeah,
Now that you mention it.
Yeah,
And then it cuts to 12 hours earlier, 24 hours.
Yeah.
24 hours earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it took the whole movie
For me to
actually-
realize, this is that person.
Yeah, it was like,
Up
okay.
until
And
the
randomly
end,
just comes out. I was like,
shit.
It said it like right after the cabin scene. With
Well, I
all
mean,
that.
we
It
saw
said
her.
one day
No,
earlier.
No, I know that. What I'm saying is that
How it got to her?
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah,
okay.
it took the whole movie just to be like, oh yeah, it's that person
that's how
randomly
it
walked out of
started.
the apartment.
Yep.
That's essentially what happened there.
Are you
Was it a spider?
Yeah, I think I got him, but I don't know.
wearing cat dog socks?
Yeah.
And Beaker.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, man. I think he's gone, man.
So, what was your favorite part on the movie? Like,
Well, what did you think about it, Seaver? Yeah.
well, he did
He's got to
tell us,
scoot
actually.
in.
To be honest with you, I didn't really care for it. It's got very generic horror movie.
Okay.
And they just shoehorned in some Evil Dead quotes.
Okay.
It looked nice. It looked really cool. I thought it looked real pretty. The guy making it shot it really good.
Yeah.
That door, the scene where everything was taking place through the
Peephole?
peephole,
Yeah.
that was neat. But I mean, that was in the trailer.
Well, so just like when I watched the trailer and I said that I feel like it's not going to be an Evil Dead movie,
Yeah, I mean,
and it really turned that way. I mean, it basically was like,
I would have been happier if the Deadites were more Deadite-y, if there was any more levity or comedy to it. It was just devoid of any
well,
charm or character that makes those movies what they are. If
but they did the same thing with their Evil Dead remake. So the Evil Dead remake was done the same way.
that one was
where-
fine, but everybody loves it a lot. I just don't think they're the same without Ash. And,
No, I
and Sam
agree.
Raimi, they just don't have the same character and charm. Even though they've been producing them or whatever,
Yeah.
Although they did, like you said, shoehorn it in the fact that there's
Yeah.
a chainsaw and a shotgun that
Yeah.
they use at the end.
They did that in both movies, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. At least in the cabin in the remake, they found it out in a tool shed or something, and
Yeah.
that. and that it was in the back of a van, and she'd been stabbed in the hand, which didn't even go anywhere. Like that, there was nothing that started to possess her hand like the old movies. I thought that's where they were going to go.
Yeah, because that did happen to Ash.
Yes,
when
his hand got injured and it started to seep in
because he had to. Change it off.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I was kind of waiting for them to maybe play it off the same way, but then that kind of ran away from the two. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, that chick eating the glass kind of bothered me too, especially like when it showed it like coming through her neck and then back in. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, there's always really cool visuals in them and kills, and they're always super bloody, but it just kind of just seemed.
That mom had no chance.
Yeah,
like from the outset, she just got fucked up.
She was good in it. It's just that it didn't feel like Evil Dead to me. And then suddenly they're like, Dead by Dawn, Dead by Dawn.
Yeah.
And it just seemed really like, you didn't have to do that. It's like they wanted to make another movie and they just kind of stuck some Evil Dead
exactly
garbage in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what that movie is.
That's what it seems like. But I don't think it was because it was made by Sam Raimi and them from the get-go.
I imagine somebody else wrote the script for this movie and he's seen it and he was like, you know what? We can throw Evil Dead in that.
I don't know.
That's what I at least imagine from this movie. Overall, I like the movie.
It's like
I liked it too.
I appreciate stuff trying to do its own thing, but if you're also going to try to do the same thing and maybe tie them together, then you better tonally make them feel the same, because whenever they inevitably maybe come together in some Avengers kind of style, you know what I mean? You can get the characters from Ash vs. Evil Dead, bring the ones back from the 2009 or whatever movie, or 11, 13, whenever it was, and then this new one, and make a big one, but tonally all of them are different, and Ash is going to have to show up and make all of the protagonists from the other ones look terrible.
So on the Evil Dead remake, actually, the Ash shows up after the credits.
All he does is just say groovy.
Yeah, that's all he says. But like he just turns to the camera and is like, groovy.
But he could like see it on TV that this is going on, and he shows up. That's probably how it happened in the remake. But he says he's done with it, but if it does well, they'll do more. And it's done very well.
Yeah.
But then on the record they were listening to, there was a voice on it that
sounded like him.
It was him.
Okay, I thought so.
Doing the voice, yeah. But they're like, we don't know if it was Ash or not. But you could guess it was, because in Army of Darkness, he's already time traveled with the book, so he could have been in 1923, warning this guy who's looking at it about
like
the
to
dangers.
Burn it or whatever.
Yeah. So time traveling with Ash.
And I'm guessing that did they play it off like the earthquake was actually happening because of all this, or because I don't think it was.
No, the
it was
earthquake
completely separate.
Yeah, the earthquake just happened,
Yeah.
and they happened to be in the parking garage of that.
Yeah.
But then the other earthquakes that were going on throughout the movie were made by that kid reading the book, right?
I honestly don't. I don't remember. I just
assumed
assumed they'd be aftershocks at that point.
I don't know, because it usually happened around the time the kid was fucking with the book, right? At least the one that was fucked with the elevator whenever all that stuff wrapped that woman up, that was during one of those shakes, right?
I don't recall another earthquake, actually.
Oh, okay. I thought there was. I could be wrong.
I mean, I could be maybe not remembering it either, but I don't recall another earthquake.
It was a while ago that I watched it, and it was kind of forgettable. That's what I'm saying. With it being forgettable, I can't give it much credit, because the old Evil Dead movies weren't forgettable. If you watch like Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, it's a way more fun movie. I think you'd like it a lot better.
If you like horror comedies, if you don't,
if you like to laugh and see goofy stuff, you know, it's not like gory, because it's like puppets and stuff, but it's all practical effects, and it's neat. It's a fun time.
Yeah, I did like at the end of this one where they
comedy
fuse all the bodies together.
It's weird.
Well, I did like how it would like flip to different pages, and whatever was on that page is what was happening to the next person. So when they did fuse all those bodies together,
I like it. A little ham-fisted
I
too,
like that,
because they're like, oh, this was in the book, and it's like, Where's all the Latin and all the weird stuff? It's like this book has a mind of its own. You don't really need to read from it or anything.
They also didn't call it...
Play this record, and then the book will just do things.
They also didn't call it the Necronomicon, did they? It was something completely different.
Yeah, it was almost like it was
the book.
Well, no, in one of the records it says what the
Book
name
of the Dead
is. He says whatever the Book of the Dead, which in the very first Evil Dead is not called the Necronomicon.
Yeah, it
either.
said Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
Not in the very first one.
Yeah, man.
I'll bet you $100.
But that's what the Necronomicon Ex Mortis is.
I know that, but I'm just saying it was called
a
something.
Tomato potato, motherfucker. It's the same
Tomato potato.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. You say tomato, I say potato.
And you're wrong.
No, I'm
If
not.
it's a tomato, it's a tomato.
Huh?
If you said tomato, I'd accept it.
No, nobody says tomato.
Well, nobody says potato for tomato either.
You know,
You
some
sure?
people do, man.
Well, they're wrong.
Yeah,
And I'll say it.
What if it's a potato and you said tomato?
I wouldn't.
And you're telling me I'm wrong because you
I
think
wouldn't because it's a potato.
Dude, the movie wasn't that good.
No, I know that.
Have you ever had potato sauce?
It could have been any movie.
I'm sorry, what?
Potato sauce? Like tomato sauce?
I thought you said potato slaw, and I was like, no.
It's like, how do you like them apples, Hoss? How do you like that potatoes, Hoss?
Oh, shit.
And this is already infinitely better than the movie we watched.
No, I mean, the movie had,
It had its moments, but like I said,
had its moments, but I would not care to see more from that specific set of Evil Dead stories.
My thing
I
of
would
it
much
is,
rather
if
see
you
a
got to take
continuation.
Evil Dead off of it, and I would like it a lot more.
Yeah, I mean...
If you took Evil Dead off it, I wouldn't have watched it, because a bunch of generic horror movies come out like that all the time.
I'll have you know, we watched Kill Her Goats, and it's better than that.
Yeah, but if you told me there was a generic movie about demons possessing people in a New York apartment building, Los Angeles, you know.
How many earthquakes you know happen in New York?
I mean, my God, dude. Tomato, potato.
I guess.
That's
we'll
my
chalk
logic.
it up to that.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, it wasn't in the woods, you know. It was fine. It was fine.
I did expect it to play out more into the little cabin where they were at, but obviously it didn't. It was just in the apartment building.
Well, you gotta satisfy the cabin fever of Evil Dead.
Yeah. At least I should have used a cabin that looked like it.
Well, why would it be the same cabin if it's a different book?
It looked like it. I didn't say the same.
The book's just like the Necronomicon Ex Mortis books of the dead, like to hang out in cabins in the woods. So this one was found at one too, but it wasn't the same one.
I do have a question. So, the earthquake or the demon or whatever caused the stairwell to fall, and they can't use the elevator. So everybody.
I liked that because that was a very Evil Dead thing to do.
Right,
like
it
rid of
cuts
the
everything
bridges.
off.
Yeah,
But
that was fun.
is there only that family and that one family that got fucked up and that old man on that whole entire floor?
But weren't they all being evicted?
No, they were leaving.
I think
The building was getting torn down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe that's why there's only the few people there left. But I didn't really give a time frame. It wasn't like, next week they're knocking this motherfucker to the ground.
Apparently, it was getting close.
Well, they would have found that fucking book if they did that. So there you go.
Well, that's how you can cover it all up at the end. You know, the building got demolished.
Okay, so I do have to bring something up on that one. So the stairs were gone.
Yes.
The elevator was out of business.
Out of business.
Out of business.
I like that. I'm going to start using that. It's just out of business.
Yeah, dude. It's not business time.
Nope.
And
this elevator.
Closing
but the chick that walks out at the end uses the stairs.
She's on a different floor.
Yeah.
You telling me it just took out one level?
That's all it needs to.
Yeah.
Then you could have jumped the goddamn thing.
Oh no! Did you
No,
see the
dude.
rubble and all that at the bottom?
Yeah.
There might be
But
there might be rebar sticking up out of there. You never know.
Bullshit.
I mean,
You saw the whole. It's nothing you would have wanted to.
when
mess
you're
with.
dragging your demon mother through the hallway, I don't.
Yeah.
You know,
And I mean, she can
Then you
chase
throw her down the stairs.
it wouldn't have killed her.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah,
The demon almost got
it
her.
was a spider.
I really hope you killed that spider. I can't deal with spiders.
It wasn't one that would bother you. It just had long.
No, they
legs.
all bother me, friend. It's
But if it happened to crawl by you, it wouldn't bite you or anything.
It may just,
I need
cuddle up
I
with you.
need it dead. Okay.
What if
You want the Evil Dead?
Ear? I wouldn't be able to handle having hair on my ears if I was bothered by spiders, man.
It just happens, bud.
Yeah, because like now that spider's on the loose and you.
Why do you say this to me? God,
You got
damn
your
it.
hair's. I mean, it's just wisping right there by it.
Or was it the
Do
spider?
you have anything else to add?
If I didn't kill it, I'm just saying.
No,
It
you're
might be
turning
on you when
this
you're
into
going
a
home.
clever way to say, "Hey Ben, shave your ear hair."
No, I'm just saying.
That is horseshit.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I'm
it
just
is.
saying on your way home, just if the wind's blowing.
On my way home, if the wind's
It's
blowing, my
probably-
windows are down.
It's probably the wind blowing in your hair, and it's not that spider hanging out with
What a
you.
dick.
That's all I'm saying. Tonight, when you're laying down, it's not a spider. It's not a spider. It's just hair.
Anything else?
No.
On his drive home, he's going to go home and just crawls right in there. He's going to have nightmares.
Yeah, thanks, bud. I have nightmares about spiders in my ear hair now.
If he
Thank
comes
you.
if he comes to Rochemont and his head is shaved,
He's gonna
Don't
have
doubt
that,
it.
He's gonna have that cut just right.
just right there, yeah.
Yeah. Just get rid of the sideburns.
Is there something wrong with my side?
No, not at all.
Just a
I'm not
spider.
goofing on you at all. All I'm saying.
I've known you long enough that the only reason you brought it up was to do all of this.
No, all I wanted to do is make you think it's tickling your ear, and
It's not. It's not. I know it's not.
It won't be.
No,
a
it's
spider.
a
It
clever
won't-
way of saying, "Hey Ben, your sideburns are a little unkempt. You
No,
need to
it
get that
won't-
taken care
It
of."
won't be a spider later on tonight.
Okay,
either,
can we
is
talk
all I'm
about?
saying.
Do we have stars to give out on this motherfucker? In your weird rating system,
between 1 and 5, yeah.
it can be a 0.
No,
No,
Yeah, it fucking can.
that's
I
not
gave
how-
Killer Ghost -5. And there's nothing to do about it.
killer goats.
Yeah.
Oh damn, Otis.
Oh man, no.
All right, well, Ben, what would you give it?
1.5.
1.5?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You said that you liked the movie, but
I liked it, but it was not something I'm going to go see. I would never watch it again. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, all right.
I came in hoping it was going to be somehow better, like with Evil Dead, and it didn't do anything for me.
So you expected an Evil Dead movie when you?
Yeah. Well, it has Evil Dead in the title. I assume it's going to be something
Well,
like
looking
that.
at the trailer, I was like, "This is not going to be Evil Dead. This is going to be."
I thought
It's
maybe...
Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah. I honestly thought maybe that they would
thought
just
it-
show you all, oh, look how... Like in the reboot, when the commercials of that, none of it was really ha ha ha. There was some funny parts in the reboot of it. Not the whole thing, but some parts were. I thought
Yeah,
maybe
they
they
had
were
no
doing
charm
the
or
same
levity.
thing. They didn't. So, 1.5.
1.5. All right. Sigurd, what would you give it?
I'd give it a 2.5. I mean, it was straight average movie.
Okay.
To be straight up honest, I could not tell you what one person in that movie looked like. I don't remember a single person's face. Nobody stood out. The survivor, I don't remember her at all. So that's not a good sign for your Evil Dead movie. If your hero is completely forgettable.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't remember the girl from the reboot either.
Do you not?
No.
I can't remember her name.
But I haven't watched them a lot. But I would remember Bruce Campbell anytime I saw him. Even if he was only in the old Evil Dead movie, he was very memorable as Ash.
true.
He had charisma. Nobody else has the charisma.
Well, it also doesn't have any of the jokes. I mean, that's really what made Bruce Campbell, you know.
Well, Bruce Campbell having the charisma is where the jokes came from.
Yeah.
Because those demons were pretty serious.
You're falling into his trap.
No, I don't know.
What trap?
The one that every time you start doing, I look at Martin like, don't keep going.
What was I doing?
No, nothing, buddy.
Bruce Campbell was
Yeah,
great at
yeah.
dealing with those demons.
He was.
And were the demons goofy or was Bruce Campbell being goofy? No, those demons were pretty goofy.
they're both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vanessa, what would you give it?
I'm gonna say a 2.
A
On a
2?
scale from 1 to 5, a
Yeah.
2. Yeah.
2. All right. Well, I personally actually would give it a 3.5.
Okay, good man. I'm glad that it had an audience.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5 just because the movie itself I thought was entertaining. It was gory. It was my son screaming in the background, but it was gory. It was overall done well. It just wasn't Evil Dead. To me, if it was Evil Dead, I probably would have given it a 4 if it actually had more like the good old Evil Dead to me. But it didn't, and that's the reason why it only turned into 3.5. What I was surprised about, because I did not think that I would like it as much as I did. Because I did honestly thought this movie was just going to be crap.
I went into it just open-minded, being like, yeah, let's have a good time. It tried one way. It didn't stick any landing to me anywhere it tried. I don't remember the gore. I don't remember what was...
No, maybe also because I just watched it yesterday. So,
okay, yeah.
Me, you know...
Yeah. Oh, it's very fresh for me. That's why I got a 1.5.
I just want Ash to come back if they're going to do it. You know, they didn't give him a real final send-off in the Evil Dead TV show.
Oh, so, no, they didn't. I mean,
so he needs to come back.
Now, the way they ended it, I mean, yeah, I get it. You basically... I don't know how they would have played it off if they would have continued from there.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been kind of weird, I guess. More time travel again, most likely.
God, they need to bring Jason into it, because Jason's technically a Deadite based in the comics. They could have Jason Voorhees come back and be the one that kills Ash. I'd buy that for $1. Everybody else would hate it, but it'd be a lot of fun for me. And I guess of all the Deadites Ash has killed, it'd be weird if Jason took him out, but Jason's Jason.
So you want to Freddy versus Jason versus Ash?
It's a good comic book. Have you ever read the comic?
I have not.
Yeah, it happened.
I seen where they had a comic of it. Was it actually like a real comic, or was it like a fan?
No, it was a real comic. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so there was Evil Dead.
Evil Dead Rise.
Oh yeah, Evil Dead Rise. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Completely different movie. Nothing to do with Evil Dead. You all want to talk about Paint?
Yeah.
Can.
So Ben, you watched the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
All right. See where you only watched half.
Yes.
And Vanessa, you haven't watched any of it, right?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah. So we should talk about the second half first that I haven't seen. So I'm on the same wavelength that she is. That's where I would like to start. So we both have no fucking clue.
So where did you quit watching?
Where did I say earlier, Ben?
The telethon.
Yeah, or right after that telethon, I'd say. Yeah.
So that movie, I wanted to turn it off several times, personally.
Okay.
He got a little aggressive with that. Did you see his eyes when he said that?
Okay.
To me, the movie Paint, not freaking Bob Ross.
No, it's Bob Ross.
Well,
totally.
We're starting off from after the telethon. That we can't talk about the telethon. That's where we'll end at whenever we're talking about the movie discussion.
So
we'll start after that.
Should we pull out the movie script, because I don't remember the exact order on that shit? Because to me, this movie was... I watched it right after...
By this point, his biggest fan had become
himself.
very disappointed in him. And he'd pretty much lost everybody.
His biggest fan, I'm trying to
The
remember.
old lady that was watching him every day.
Oh, yeah, when she was pissed off because she...
Yeah.
Okay, so you watched it actually after they did the painting itself.
Which was
I
fantastic.
saw the paintings. Yeah.
But he just did the same
I saw the
painting.
reveal of that.
Yeah.
And then they said, "Oh, yeah, we only got $8,000. We need like a
$30,000.
$500,000
That said like $30,000.
It was something ridiculous
For that time, probably.
And it was set in the modern day.
Yeah, it was set in now times.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah.
He just looked like he came from the 70s. That was it. That's the only person.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what happened.
No, it was kind of cool because the people
actually.
around him got stuck in the decade they met him as well.
Pretty much.
If you looked at how they dressed.
Yeah, that is true.
Pretty much.
Beverly Goldberg flat out said it. She said, He told me one time I looked cool in this velour suit that said Juicy on the back. So I've worn this kind of outfit
The whole time, yeah.
Yeah, she talked about going to church wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she got pissed off at him.
Kids thought my name was Juicy.
Yeah.
The humor in it was... it didn't have enough laughs for me in it. That's the reason why I kind of wanted to turn it off.
Man, the second half of this movie sounds like it gets sour. Because I was laughing a whole lot in the first half of this movie. I really was. I was laughing a lot.
I don't think... I'm trying to remember when I was laughing in the movie, actually.
Okay, well, let's just... All right, essentially, after the telethon, they are telling him he's going to teach at a college how to paint, and they're taking his show completely off the air.
Oh, wow.
Okay, but what they're going to do is run reruns of it leading into Ambrosia's paint show.
Okay. Yeah, so her show still gets the prime slot.
Right. So he ends up going to that college, and
so we're starting from him being a teacher.
Yeah,
okay.
and he can't get
long.
Yeah, he can't get away from Ambrosia. Like even the kids in the class are like, "Is she going to come? Teach?" And he tries to smooth it over. He's like, "Well, we might have her as a guest one day." Da 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 da. And he kind of just tries to go past it. And then they're like, "It'd be really cool if you let us know when she comes so that we can show up." And then it just pisses him off. But you know how he does? He never raises his voice very high. He's always really mellow. He does that. He keeps watching the show. Then they take his reruns off.
Oh no!
So
because of tobacco use.
Yes. Because he smokes a pipe.
Oh, he did always hit the pipe at the end of the show.
Yeah,
during the paintings, he would always hold his pipe.
Yeah. So they kind of they just say that's what it is, and really they're just, moving him out. And
it's public access. Excuse me, why would they not have time for his show?
So then...
I love it. That's so funny to me.
The curator of the museum, he goes to him and he's like, I heard you say one day that there's some sort of mountain that he has been literally painting on this show every day since he said this to try to get his attention, but he hasn't said anything to him. He goes to his museum and is like, I got a bunch of these paintings of this mountain. And he was just like, yeah, the walls are freshly painted. We can't put that up.
Well, they said that the walls are freshly painted and it's a piece of art in itself.
Yeah, that's the art is the freshly painted wall, so they can't cover that art with his art.
Carl took his art to the museum.
He didn't even take it with him. He just walked in and asked him if he wanted it, and he was like, no.
Well, the guy told him, well, have you thought about bringing it to a Motel 6 or something like that?
Yeah.
He'd had his heart set on being in that place the whole time.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why he actually painted the same damn mountain over and over and over and over. So that he would...
Why would that guy have cared about that mountain?
Because he asked for... He said that he hasn't found a painting worthy enough to put in the museum of that mountain.
Yeah.
And apparently that museum is full of just artwork from that city. And he wanted one of that mountain. So every day he painted that mountain scene differently. And he just either didn't know if the guy didn't watch his show, or he just didn't know he was painting it because he never called him. So
that was the whole point of his life's work?
Yes. There it is, buddy.
Oh, wow.
So then...
And the guy was like, nah.
Yeah, pretty much. He then tells him to go paint what's in his soul, which in his soul is that one chick that helps run the show that...
Okay. Oh, he paints a portrait of Kathy or whatever her name was.
Because she cheated on him, then he cheated on her back, and that was kind of weird. But he paints a nice big portrait of her in the back of her laying in the bed in the back of his van.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she was talking about she wanted a painting.
Yeah, and then he's got all of these mountain paintings hung up in his barn. He then just starts taking paint and throwing them all over. Yeah. Yeah, and then
he's like, none of it was worth it, man.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So when he throws the paint over his other paintings, it turns into the same painting again.
It's the painting of a mountain with just buckets of paint.
Yeah. Oh, and then it works out for a mural for the...
No, because he ends up lighting his barn on fire.
So what ends up happening there is that he goes back and he goes... You seen where he gets a haircut, like when he goes to the barber and he's like, number 12?
Yeah, here comes number 12.
He comes in and he's like, let me have a number 2.
He cuts his hair.
He chops the hair
off.
Well,
it's basically just cut down a little bit.
Yeah.
And the barber's like, I don't even know what a number 2 is. He's like, that that little thing just came with the pair of clippers that I got in 1974. He's like, I've never even looked at it. The only reason I know what a number 12 is because you got it all the time. So he cuts his hair.
But after he cuts his hair, he's
That's
like...
hilarious.
He goes...
How did
Martin
you not
didn't
like
think so.
this movie,
Well,
Martin?
it's actually funnier talking about it than watching it, I would say.
No, it's not.
It totally is.
I promise you, when I watch this movie, even knowing what happened, I'm going to laugh so much harder.
Because
Owen Wilson was so good as this Carl Nargle guy.
I'm glad that you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
He's very angry about it, yeah.
And apparently him not blowing his top and never losing his cool, despite this adversity you guys are telling me he's faced.
So, hold on. So, after he gets his
haircut. Wait. By the way, he got kicked out of doing the college thing because he just started painting just black. It was just nothing but black on the canvas. And to the point where, like...
he was told to paint what's in his soul at that point, right?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Oh, well, he had already been practicing.
Yeah, so I guess the dean or whatever comes to him, and there's not anybody in there, like no students, and he's just sitting there painting this blackness, and she comes in and she's just like, yeah, what few students you do have actually agree that we can just end this class right now and we'll pay you the rest of the semester out and you can just leave.
Said the few students, and she goes, the two? She actually said two.
Oh, yeah, there was just two people left going to his class.
Everybody else went out of it.
He's also watching Ambrosia, and Ambrosia starts trying to paint the mountain.
And
she gets hooked on the same idea.
And but the thing of it is, he's so cool about it because he's just sitting there in like a robe with that like thing on his head to keep his hair nice and permed, and he's just like he just like leans up and he's just like
he's at the beauty shop,
the barber shop. No, he's at his house. He has this in his house, and he's just like he just sets up and he's like he just like literally goes magnificent. Like he's just really cool about her literally stealing everything from him. Go ahead. Let your anger out.
After he gets the haircut, his barber basically is like, "Hey, you need some medicine to take the edge off." And
he just gives him weed.
He goes, "No, I don't do drugs." And he goes, "No, it's medical marijuana."
Marinara.
Yeah, marinara. There you go. And he goes, "Okay." And then he pulls out gummies, and he's like, "Yeah, take those too."
Oh yeah.
And so he basically goes back to his barn to sit down and
Is there a weird tripping scene? Like
he doesn't know because he ends up accidentally lighting his barn on fire while he eats every single gummy because they're not kicking in immediately. Yeah.
He starts smoking and then he just takes the whole bag and just shoves it in the mouth. And essentially, the clipping from his hair, he kept the clipping from his hair, which actually caused the fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
man.
and so he then passes out because they all kick at the same time about the time his barn lights on fire.
And
so his life falls apart, though. And,
is her name Kathy, or what was it?
I don't remember.
Catherine, comes back because...
What made you mad about this? Instead of just giving me a shot-for-shot recap, just explain what you didn't.
It didn't make me mad. I was bored. I was bored by the movie.
Oh,
boredom turned to anger because you're like, I have a lot to say about this.
Well, no, because I really wanted to turn off because I thought it was boring, but it could also be
Is it just because you didn't dig the main character?
No.
If he was more lively, would you have liked it better? You didn't like the joke? Because the whole premise is the joke, man. Like, the whole thing's a joke.
I get that, but to me, it was just really boring, especially because I just watched Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
And
which is the same thing happened to me because I watched them back to back, too.
So, when I watched Paint, talking about it, like I said, it's more entertaining than actually watching the movie to me.
Yeah, okay.
It's...
I don't think we did that good of a job.
No, I'm just saying, it's more entertaining to me right now talking about this.
So his life falls apart.
Do it?
His life falls apart.
Yeah, his life falls apart. That Catherine Cassie, whatever her name, she comes back.
Oh yeah, he ends up painting a portrait of her. You said
he's already done that.
Okay.
He has the portrait in his van.
Yeah.
She drags him out of the burning fucking barn.
He's high as a kite.
She saves his life.
Puts him in her car, and then he's like, "Oh, you got to get this portrait out of my van," and she ends up getting the wrong one. It's just another one of those fucking mountain ones.
No, it was actually from the other location.
It looked like the fucking mountain painting to me, which I thought was funny. Then he's like, "No, it's in the passenger seat," and then he runs, and she gets it, and it's her. and everything's all well and good.
Well, so no.
He also stole a newspaper for no reason. I don't know if you saw that part.
Yeah.
That
shit was hilarious.
Yeah, well, that lady that he makes eye contact with as he's stealing her newspaper, she ends up calling the station and being like, "He's stealing our newspapers," and they're like, "Yeah, we know," and they just hang up on him.
Well, he stole.
He stole the newspaper because it was an article about him not being
as good of a painter anymore. Yeah,
but so. After the barn burns down and all that stuff, everybody thinks he's dead.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
And then
because they find the DNA from the hair, and
wonderful. And then his art's a hit.
Yes. So now after that, all the art burns down, right? So a few people still have some of the paintings. So it's valued massive amount of money.
Yeah.
So the guy from PBS that's sitting in there,
Bill Dauterive is who that is, by the way.
Oh, really?
That's Bill Dauterive.
That's the voice of Bill Dauterive.
It is.
Oh, wait, yeah, it was Melvin.
Yeah. Whatever his name is.
Milton.
Yeah. From Office Space.
So you remember how he had like that painting on the wall that he would take down from him?
Yeah.
He actually threw it in the dumpster, and he gets a call, and he's like, "Hey, so he's dead, and we were wondering if he had one of those paintings because that is valued a lot of money now." And he's like, "Hold on," and because he looked at the freaking
wall's gone,
and then he goes dumpster diving to find the painting. He jumps out, holds it up. He's like, "Yeah." And with that, he gets the money to save
the station.
Hell yeah, cool, man. So he died so others could live, right?
Yeah,
and he comes back.
And it was actually the museum that actually wanted it. So he sold it to the museum.
Oh, they got the dumpster painting? And he comes back.
Yeah, now...
Everybody hates him?
Another thing,
I don't remember that part of it. I remember the dumpster diving thing, but that's as far as I don't remember it. I may have fell asleep.
So after...
I thought it just ended at that.
No, so...
Okay, well, here we go.
Everybody just thinks he's dead.
Yeah, it continues that way.
No, ruin it for me. Come on.
So after...
Does he just go into hiding and live with that chick off in the mountains?
They go into a cabin.
What a wonderful ending.
They go into a cabin. They stay there.
How did you hate this movie?
And hold on. So what ends up happening then is that...
I'll find out. I'll find out. If
that's fuck you, no. Come on.
If that's the wonderful ending, I'll find out how it goes.
So he then also sends a painting to the barber. And the guy that always sits in the chair, looks at it and he's like... You know what that's worth, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's great. How did you hate this movie?
He goes, yeah, and they take down where it has all the different haircuts on it.
Aww.
Take that down, put the painting right at that spot.
Oh.
And then at the end, it shows where he continues to paint, but he doesn't do mountains or anything like that anymore. He goes by a new name because he's dead.
Yeah.
And you know those paintings where somebody is like the spray paint art, like
graffiti.
Well, it's
tagging.
Shut up.
Well, damn it! I'm just trying to help.
There's some stupid artist or something like that. Like they sell for a fortune on those fucking paintings.
Banksy stuff.
Yes, there you go. He goes by that name now and makes those paintings.
Fantastic. How really did you hate this?
So when it starts out. So it starts out. He's basically just Bob Ross, right? And he's painting all these things, and everybody loves him at this public broadcasting station. He's got fans all over the city. They're watching him at the bars and forgetting about their lives and everything.
And the stagehands and the producers all are in love with him.
Just mesmerized by him. He's been banging all the women all these years. And
that chick from Reno 911.
Yeah, Beverly Goldberg.
Yeah.
Clementine. And he's got that love triangle, right? With he's pining for this chick, and they do this cool flashback that's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's wearing this Bob Ross outfit, and I'm expecting her to be wearing this weird older outfit too. But it's just like 2003, so she's dressed fairly normal still, and I'm like, it's so funny. And he's got this ridiculous van, so it
literally says "Vantastic" on the side of it.
Yeah, that's where they're putting all the paintings and all of this. Everybody loves him. It's so good.
The telethon part,
and then
that was it for me.
He's like, to save the station, do you mind doing 2 paintings a day, doing 2 shows? And he's like, I don't want to cheapen my art.
Yeah.
And now knowing that's what his art was really going for the whole time, just getting on this wall.
Yeah.
And he'd already done thousands of them because he'd been doing the show for 40 years. And that's what started his downfall, was just saying, I don't want to cheapen my art. And then it turned him into Banksy by the end. just so good. That's why they hired this chick, right? She comes in and she does her own painting, and
but she does two, and that's what everybody's like. Oh, she can do two in an hour, where it only takes him to do one. And she's also
like, I've never painted a stump, so I'll paint a stump instead of doing the same Bob Ross mountains. She ends up painting a stump with a UFO dripping blood on it, and
which I really want that.
Yeah, it was really cool. She was doing stuff nobody'd seen, and then she did two paintings and blew everybody's mind. And just started making everybody real happy. And he's driving around in this van and talking to people that love him in the city. And he's got this speaker phone on it. He's got a speaker on the top of his van because he always whispers because he's a Bob Ross character. So people outside his van can hear him. So like he's at a stoplight and interacting with people.
That's fantastic too. That was funny.
Really funny stuff.
When the guy pulls up next to him at that stoplight and he's just
and he tells him to go.
No, he's like, "You're an inspiration, since I was a kid." And he was like, "Hey, thank you." And then they sat there for a minute. And he's like, "This light's taking really long." And that guy's just like, "I'm going to Walmart," and he just goes,
"Just go.
Go now." He like sends him through that red light. That's fucking funny. The love triangle is between the Ambrosia chick.
So
the one that comes.
Wait, you were saying that chick cheated on him? Did she cheat on him because she thought he cheated on her?
No, she cheated on him first.
He didn't pay attention.
Right, he didn't pay attention to her. He was all self-involved with his art.
He caught Juicy in the window, but they weren't actually doing anything.
Right, but that was after.
So she had already cheated on him by then.
Correct. Okay. She cheated on him with like a FedEx driver.
It was
in the back of the FedEx van.
And he delivers, bud.
So there was something on that too. He wouldn't paint any paintings of a certain location because of the name of the company of the delivery driver.
Yes, which was like Vermont Mountain Express or something.
So there was something about that. He was like, I'm never painting that because of that.
Okay, so that chick that cheated on him with the Vermont Mountain Express guy. She is like a producer on his show? Is that okay. She still produces his show after all of this is happening.
Yeah.
So that Ambrosia chick comes in, and then they get together.
Yeah. Like
which was a left field move for me. I was like, I didn't expect
trying to take his life.
Yeah, his entire life.
Like she goes to the chick's house, and
her parents.
She's like, I've never slept with a woman before, and then she's like, oh shit. And she looks around the corner, and that chick's mom's there. And they went to school together. So she's about to go in there and hook up with her daughter, the daughter of someone she went to school with.
And then asked if, what kind of pizza they wanted her to bring up afterwards.
Tostino's. What Tostino's they like? Pepperoni or cheese?
It was kind of like 2.5 Men whenever someone was sneaking in there on Jack's wife.
Yeah. So, there you go.
So later on, by the way, because she breaks it off with Ambrosia, Ambrosia hooks up with that other old chick there at the office.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he catches him in the act.
So what other old chick at the office?
Okay, so there's the blonde-haired one from Reno 911, right?
Yeah.
The other blonde one that's older. So he's always kind of just like...
She's like grandma. She's grandma age, okay? So what happens actually is that later on in the show...
So she's 36.
Yeah, that was mean.
There's some young grandmas out there.
She just had a little gravelly voice. That was it.
Hold on. So later on, she brings that one home, and the parents open the door, and they, basically all the she's surprised about the parents there, and then the grandmother comes up, and she's like, "Oh, I went to school with her."
They tie it all together.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Martin just hates the movie because it was really subtle.
Like I said, if I probably would have watched it right after the other ones, it probably would have been better.
I love silly stuff. And
I liked when he brought them all mugs to try to make a peace offering so they would quit hating on him, and then they just hate on his mugs so hard. And he's just like, I got him at Macy's, and they just don't give a damn about that.
It said, "You're my type" with a typewriter.
After talking about the movie, I have to say I actually probably like it more now than I did before.
And they blow up on him. They're like, "What the fuck is this mug?"
That's when she talks. Yeah, that's what she talks about the juicy part across her ass, and that all the church kids thought she was Miss Juicy.
And then he doesn't blow his cool while she's screaming at him, and he's just like, I got him at Macy's.
I got him at Macy's. He's like, if you don't like those, I have these coupons. And he starts bringing out these coffee coupons, and they just shit on that too.
I've got 20% off coffee coupons. You can
I thought that was funny. The telethon part, they have this telethon to try to save the station because it's fucking dying.
It's all very dry and subtle here.
So they're like, you know what?
You should have liked that, Martin.
I know, right?
They bring that magician kid on stage, by the way, which I thought that was a funny part, too, because she was like, trying to interview him, and he's just like, He just puts his head down and she's like, that was amazing! And like, whatever. But
he had all the rings linked together, and she was like, how'd you do that?
And he
just dumb stares her.
But, so they start a bidding war between the two painters of, like, the highest bidder gets a portrait done of him. He wins, but for some odd reason, they both get to do it.
Yeah, well, no, it's both are bidding on a painting. Either whoever wins gets a painting by that person.
But I thought it was a portrait. That was the whole thing.
It is a portrait. It's
okay,
and
he
just doesn't mind.
So when he does,
the person that won the painting from the girls ended up selling for like $207 or $450,
and his was like $800 and something.
His was like $875.
So the old woman is the highest bidder.
It was an old lady that was his biggest fan that was the highest bidder.
And they're not letting them see the portrait as he's doing it, and when he turns it around, it's a goddamn mountain.
Yeah, but she does like a super cool personal, like made the woman she was painting with a lightsaber thing she liked. Then he turned the painting around for the lady, and it was a painting he'd done in episode 2, season 8, they said, and the creek was a little bit smaller, and he's like, well, surprise, you get this painting for yourself and a personal portrait from her, too. She's like, I wanted one from you, dick.
Yeah. Also, like, the Ambrosia chick, when she does start hooking up with that production chick, she makes her, on an Etch-a-Sketch, a Tyrannosaurus attacking Atlantis. And that's what seals the deal.
That sounds pretty cool, man. I had a lot more fun watching this movie than I did Evil Dead.
I thought it was okay. I didn't have anything wrong. I laughed at it.
So, all right. Well, what do you rate it, Ben?
I'm giving it higher than Evil Dead Rise. I'll go. I'll give it a 3.5.
3.5. All right.
Well, for once, I will not be the lowest rating here.
After talking about it, you know what? Maybe
if you give it a 4, you son of a bitch.
I would actually give it a 3. You know,
it was funny.
Like I said, it probably, like, talking about the movie is actually more, like I said, more entertaining to me. But
it wasn't an expensive movie. It was well done. I love seeing people get out there and do weird, fun projects.
So after hearing
that they're all passionate about.
After hearing how it ends, what would you give it?
I've not seen the whole movie, but what I watched, I'd give 3.5 stars.
All right.
I may end up liking it more. I may end up liking it less. I can't really, but I really enjoyed what I watched.
So, Vanessa, what do you rate this review?
I feel like I'm definitely going to watch it.
And she feels like she would enjoy it.
It sounds really good.
Does it sound like a 3.5?
It sounds like a 3, yeah.
It sounds like a 3?
It sounds really good.
Okay.
For once, I'm the one that has to defend it. Because usually it's you defending it to me.
I thought it was a good time. I like Owen Wilson, and I'm glad to see people do weird stuff.
Another thing, that chick, the one production hand that is still in love with him throughout the whole thing, they go to a fondue bar.
Oh, my goodness.
And she's vegetarian?
Yeah, wait. Let her watch that on her own.
Okay, yeah, because that one was fantastic.
There's some
you remember that scene,
There's some really funny scenes in the movie.
When they go back to her house and he keeps like mentioning that her TV is like too small, and she's like, oh, well, I have a bigger TV in the bedroom, I think. And he goes in there with her and he's literally like, I don't see a TV in here anywhere. And she's just all over him, and he keeps bringing up the fact that there's no TV. Oh, God, that's so funny.
She just had that awkward little TV in the other room.
And then she's like doing things to him, so like she's kissing his neck and shit, but she's obviously just reciting in her head, but out loud, what this book told her to do. So she's like, gently rub his left nipple as you, and he's just like not paying attention to that at all. He's just like,
he wasn't into it.
No, he's just like, I thought there was going to be a bigger TV in here, and like the whole time she's just ignoring what he's saying and talking about that book. It's fantastic.
Comically small TV.
Oh, it's literally like one of those portable ones.
And it's like 70s retro long.
Yes.
I thought it was his apartment.
I did too, because I saw that and I was like, what? And then she's talking
Lisa
about
was like, why has she got such old shit? And I was like, well, he's a hipster, you know? And then I'm like, wait, that's her apartment? Well, that's weird. Yeah. But I guess, you know, you get along with his vibe, man, when you get real into him. Yeah, you just get along with that vibe, and then, you know, the rest's history, man.
Like I said,
we went over the second half of the movie already.
Now, do we need to explain that again?
We went over the 12 hours earlier.
That's right.
Oh my God. Here we go.
But did you guys finally watched the first episode of The Rabbit Hole, the Kiefer Sutherland show? No. God damn it.
Nope.
Well, okay. So
How are we going to carry on this Kiefer Sutherland podcast
It's getting
if we
frustrating.
don't watch the first episode of The Rabbit Hole?
We're on episode 13.
So, do you all have anything else? Sigurd, do you have anything else?
I just got sent a funny philosophy paper meme
All right.
of Mario the Idea versus Mario the Man. It's wrote by Phil Jameson, Philosophy 101 in 2022 for his midterm paper. Everyone knows Mario is cool as fuck. The teacher wrote, horrible opening, but who knows what he's thinking? Who knows why he crushes turtles? The teacher wrote, to save the princess, also gross. And why do we think of him as fondly as we think of the mythical, non-existent Dr. Pepper, perchance? And the teacher wrote question marks over Dr. Pepper and said, you can't just say perchance. He said, I believe it was Kant. And they marked out believe because apparently it was Kant, so you didn't need that. So I believe it was Kant who said, experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play. Mario exhibits experience by crushing turts all day. The teacher wrote, stop. But he exhibits theory by stating, let's-a go!
Oh,
keep it up, baby! And they wrote a bunch of question marks because he doesn't say, keep it up, baby. When Mario leaves his place of safety to stomp at Turdy, they marked out stomp at Turdy. He knows he may die. And yet, for a man who can purchase lives with money, a life becomes a mere store of value, a tax that can be paid for. As rich a man feels with any law with a fine as a price. We think of Mario as a hero, but he is simply a 1%er. And it says, why are you saying this? Of a more privileged variety. The life kind, perchance. And they got perchance marked up. Real dumb.
And he got what grade?
An F.
That big old F.
All right.
I think it was good. When you think about it, boil it down to Mario being able to purchase lives with money. Just flaunting around doing
At
whatever
what
he can.
point in Mario do you purchase lives for money?
Huh? The coins,
When you
man.
reach 100 coins, you get
yeah.
a freaking life.
That's not
Yeah.
purchasing. He's obtaining these coins, and
it's-
they're just
it's-
cashing them in for him.
It's
Yeah.
still the same thing.
Nah.
You're not thinking deep enough.
Tomato,
man.
potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
that is. It's tomato potato.
Who the fuck says potato?
Martin, apparently.
Jesus Christ, it's a tomato.
Oh, boy.
That's
All
silly.
right.
That's fucking silly. Did you guys see the newest Simpsons?
No.
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 Oh,
The
man.
one that's, like, on right now?
Huh?
What?
No, last week's episode.
Oh, no, sure didn't.
It was good, man.
That's good. I'll take a look at it. It's on Hulu.
That's where I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I got the Hulu.
I started watching The Simpsons again, and I've been watching it in German.
From the start?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I guess if we continue on to episode 6,000 something, we may be able to start talking about it when you catch up.
Pretty much.
And then I won't even get any of the jokes you're saying because you'll be all like, Dirchke Burple.
Oh, boy.
Like, we don't have the same Homer. Like,
Why do you make him sound like the Swedish chef from...
Because I don't know German, and it's better than doing an offensive, loud whatever. You know?
An offensive loud whatever.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, the same Homer. He's got a different voice and stuff. Maybe the jokes don't play the same. I'm curious. Like, maybe... Like, tell me a Simpsons joke in German, and I want to see if I
Tell you
laugh.
one right now.
I want to see if I laugh.
Say stupid... Can you say stupid, sexy Flanders?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I can think of right now. Hold on a second.
Can you do a Homer impression?
Honestly, I don't think that they say that in German. I don't remember what they say on there. So
Like, what does he say before he chokes Bart?
I couldn't think of it right now, honestly. Like,
Man.
it's just been... I only watched a few episodes again, so I don't even think that I've had an episode right now where he choked him yet.
Well,
Because in the first season, I watched. Didn't the first season only have like 6 episodes?
I think it had more than that.
Well, I can't remember. But anyway, I would say we call it a night for today. Yeah.
I do what? A night in Flay?
Yes.
Written in Wakandan.
What?
And I wasted high school learning German. Was für eine Schande!
There you go. What'd he say?
Earth's closest language.
Was für eine Stunde basically what means what a shame.
Nice. Did he say it well?
Yeah.
And it was in the Homer voice.
Yeah.
See, now, your Homer doesn't sound like that in the German one, though, does he?
No.
Oh, man, I wished he was able to do a Homer impression, so at least you stood at the tone.
I mean, I show it to you the next time.
Okay.
But anyway. Until then.
If you guys could send us clips or any ideas for the show you might have, you can send them to Martin at the uncircumcisedpodcast@gmail.com. Last week we got some interesting viewer mail, but it ended up being a little not safe for work, so we can't really share it with you. But maybe this week somebody will send us some nicer mail that a little more PC. That'd be really good. At the uncircumcisedpodcast@gmail.com. And if you have any ideas, we'll let Ben filter those through, and he can give us the best ones. And Martin will respond to you within 48 to 39 days, depending on volume. If there's not a lot going on, he may be able to get back to you within 24 hours. The uncircumcisedpodcast@gmail.com for all your needs at Walmart. Have a nice night, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and happy Father's Day to all the mothers out there that are also fathers. We don't want to exclude them.
Goodbye.